Here we go.
Money, making crap for
Yo, what's up? Isaiah's Gaines here, back with another video. And as you can tell by the title, my battle with depression. So we're going to take it back. We're going to take it way back. And I'm going to give you guys some background. I would say depression for me started around probably realistically when I was 6 or 7. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I get it. And you're like, Isaiah, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I am serious. And this was because, my family isn't necessarily as regulated as a so-called typical family, dysregulated, atypical. That's kind of how it is. My family split up a while back, mother and father had issues. I saw a lot of abuse. I saw a lot of things that weren't for a child to see, and that kind of sent me in a spiral, because at the time of 7, right, 7, 8, I truly did want to kill myself. I almost did a long time ago, that back when I was that age, because I didn't want to live anymore. And that's a lot for a child to think about, especially at that age, because no child should be having to go through that at such a young age, and I did. And so anyone watching, don't do it. Don't go through with unaliving yourself. It's never the answer, because look where I'm at today, past it. I'm past depression. And I'm going to get to how I got past depression, because it really, I experienced depression, I'd like to say, for probably I started at 7. I'm pretty sure it ended at 22, it's been how long has it been? It's been it's been 14, 15. It's been, I can't do math. 7 plus 15 is, it's been 15 years. 15 years of, fighting it. And it took a lot out of me. And now on to why. Why did it start? Why did I get depression? I'd say it was because I didn't feel safe. As a kid, I didn't feel safe. I don't think my emotional needs were met. I don't think I was in a place where happiness could exist. It's really like that. I don't think I was safe. And I'm learning to, be safe with myself. I kind of had to bottle up emotions, not feel them, and continue to keep surviving. For so long, I was in a state of survival, and I never truly lived. I never truly figured out what I was supposed to do. For so long, it was me against myself, not allowing myself to feel, not allowing myself to do, not allowing myself to listen in a healthy space, in a healthy environment. And that's what caused my depression. I lost who I was. I lost Isaiah for a while. For 15 years, I really never understood who Isaiah was, because it was taken away from me. Isaiah wasn't allowed to speak his mind, and when Isaiah did speak his mind, it was never taken to heart, and that has a lot to do with my parents. And I don't necessarily know if they know how much damage that caused me, and I don't hate them. I've accepted what it was for what it is, and that's that. It took a lot of acceptance, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of balance within myself to recognize that I do have this deeper part of me that was raised in hatred, but that doesn't mean I'm hateful. I also have this part of me that's light, that's loving. And I have to acknowledge that I do I do have a hateful side and I do have a loving side, because both come from different times of my life. That's me. That's Isaiah. I'm allowed to make an opinion. I'm allowed to speak my mind. I'm allowed to say what I want to say. And if you get upset about it, oh well. You know, if there's harmful intention, that's not good. But what is good? How much of what I want to say, what I'm supposed to say, is supposed to be behind my mouth when everyone else is saying what they want. And I realized recently that it's okay to say what I want to say. It's okay to be that guy that says something that no one likes. Because that's life. If no one likes you, that's okay. And if people love you, that's okay. And I'm looking for the people that love me, because I think that matters a lot. And I think more love needs to be expressed in this world, and that's what I'm doing. I'm expressing love and looking for others to love me. I want that mutual acceptance, that non-judgment that comes from love, and that doesn't come from a strong opinion. If you want to criticize me, sure, go ahead. Don't be hypothetical about it, because if you're saying I can work on something, then that means you can also work on yourself. And now, how I got depression? Well, that comes down to a lot of rewiring, a lot of association. I myself thought that I literally embodied sadness. Like, that was me. I was sad. I was sad. That's the best way to put it. I personified it. I possessed it. And you're allowed to possess things, but there's a point. There's a tipping point, because when you're not allowing yourself to feel an emotion and instead attaching yourself so deeply to that emotion, it's not being washed away. It's being held. It's being sticky. And I didn't want to be sticky anymore, So how? I configured myself with sadness. I thought I was sad. I literally thought, hey, I'm sad. I thought I wanted, I wanted another life. I didn't want Isaiah. I didn't want myself. And that comes down to association, which means I thought one thing was linked to another. My brain made connections that came to dopamine not being properly met, because my needs weren't met. Like, I wasn't getting rewarded for myself. Myself wasn't getting rewarded in an encouraging, joyful manner. Myself wasn't even being met. Myself wasn't being met. That took a lot to figure out. And something else about how I got depression. Well, I also did drugs. Like, I abused marijuana. I dampened. That was later in my life. I didn't really get into drugs until I was in college, really, basically. But yeah, I abused it. I really did, and now I don't abuse it anymore. Marijuana. I'm pretty great with it. I still do smoke, and it's better now, because I'm not using it as something to suppress my emotions. I'm using it as a way to express my emotions, express my thoughts, express myself. So how? It happened because I thought I was sadness. I attached myself to sadness, and I called myself sad. My brain made those connections, and it took over. So yeah, that's how I became depressed. Yeah, this part of the story is what depression did to me. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what depression did. Depression affected my mental health. It made me very, very demotivated, very not encouraging, very less voiceful, less expressive. And this all held me back. And because in the back of my mind, I thought myself wasn't worthy. I thought my voice didn't matter. I thought my thoughts didn't matter. I thought it didn't matter. I thought I didn't matter to be alive. And that's what it took a toll on. That's what depression did to me. It literally made me not want to be alive. And I recognize that for what it is, because I didn't think myself was of worth. I had no value to myself. Myself kind of just disappeared for a while, for a very long time. And I'm grateful now that I have it. I have it back. I have Isaiah. And that's great. So what depression did was for mentally take away Isaiah. And physically it took away Isaiah too. Myself, I kind of stopped. I would work out, but it wasn't channeled in a correct way. It was to change myself, not for the better, but so I didn't look a certain way. And what I mean by that is that I was changing myself to look less. Now I'm changing myself to look more. That's the difference, to see more, to see it all, and I'm no longer seeing lesser of myself. It's not, oh, I need to, I look so heavy, or, oh, I don't look enough. I'm now saying, oh, I look enough and more. That's my thought process. That's what changed, especially physically. Now I'm channeling it. And that's what you see me doing in these videos, working out. Yeah, that's me. Physically, I was so demotivated. Sometimes I'd lay around and I didn't want to do anything. I had no motivation, not one drop of motivation. I always had to force myself to do something. And it was the most depressing thing ever, because I couldn't understand why I didn't want to do anything. And that's because Isaiah wasn't there to say anything, Isaiah wasn't saying, I want to do this or I don't want to do that. It was just without, there was no Isaiah talking or thinking. And that matters a lot, because you need to know yourself. And Isaiah now knows what he wants, and he wants this. He wants to keep going. He wants to make a YouTube video. He wants to make YouTube videos. Yeah. That's what depression did to my mental health and my physical health. It really deteriorated me in a manner that I lost who I was. And I recognize that, and I'm coming back from that. That's what these videos are for. I'm showing you myself. I'm showing who Isaiah is, because Isaiah has been so far gone, not connected at all. And now it's time, Isaiah's here for the world to see. And that's what I'm doing, is Isaiah's here to tell you, listener, to tell himself, listener. I'm still talking to you. You watching, you listening. Yup. I recognize you. I'm aware, that's what it took. It took for me to be aware of myself. And now that I'm aware of myself, I'm aware of myself and others. And so you listening, depression takes a lot from you, takes a huge toll. You need to know yourself in order for that to stop. You need to know who you are, who you truly are. And if that takes a lot of time, let time pass. Let the depression wash away with time. Because you never know what's going to happen a month later, a day later, seconds later. That realization could hit you, and you'll be like, wow, this is who I am. And that's what it did for me. Time. It takes time. How I am now? I'm great. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. One word to describe me: I'm glorious. I overcame suffering. I overcame it. Literally, my suffering was depression, and, depression is no longer me. I'm not sad. I'm not sad anymore. I do get sad, but I am not sad. You know, you feel that? That's the difference. That is the big difference. You know, that's no longer a worry for me. You know, I'm never gonna be sadness again because I don't want to embody that. I don't want to be depression because I feel like it consumed me. You know, I was depression at one point, and I'm great now. I'm working towards my better self. I'm I'm doing it. You know, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm working out. My mental health is pretty good. Um, I'm learning life. I'm living life. I'm not surviving anymore. There's no surviving involved. Look at that bicep. That's what this is for, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna keep doing these videos, and yeah, this is what I'm for. I think to voice, to make stories, to tell stories, to create them, and keep going. And I want to make music so much. Oh my gosh, I want to make music so much. I'm going to. I am. 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 You know, it's just it's taking some time because of some conditions. And you're like, Isaiah, don't let the conditions bother you. Well, these conditions are bothering me. You know, and I'm taking my time. You know, I'm taking my time. And with that being said, it's okay. I'm gonna keep taking my time. I'm gonna use it for the betterment of my mental, physical health, mind and body. You know. And yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to be great. I am great. I am glorious. I find myself wanting to achieve more and more now that I've found Isaiah. I'm wanting to be that guy, you know? I want to be amazing. I am. I am amazing. So, to sum it up, did I win? Hell yeah, I won. Hell yeah, I won my battle. I won my battle against depression, you know? Listener, if you're depressed, you can too. I won. And that's it. That's no more depression. Happiness, joyfulness from here on out. Gloriousness, amazingness, everything. To be an influencer, I'm going to keep being great. I'm going to keep pushing myself past limits. I won. I won that battle, and it's time for me to express it to the world. The world, I don't know if it's ready for me and who I am, you know? And that's okay, because I'm Isaiah, and I'm going to keep bringing Isaiah to every single situation there is, every opinion, every thought, all my mindfulness, all my ideas, everything. Because there once was a time where Isaiah wasn't there. And that was the worst thing that could have happened. So, to sum it up, Isaiah won. Isaiah was losing for the longest time, but Isaiah won. So for everyone listening, for all yous, all yous oldens, all yous youngins, everyone in between, middle-aged, you can do it. Let depression, let the sadness wash over you. Don't become it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the story. Next story is going to be, is God real? And I may or may not prove, you know, God's existence. And you'd be like, how's that? Are you going to use the Bible? No, I'm not even going to use the Bible. Okay. So now that you have your sneak peek, yeah, Isaiah's Gains out. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you enjoyed the most. Tell me if you resonated, if you're picking up my frequency. Yeah. Isaiah's Gains out. Love.